The stars were red that night, not from the dying sun of Aurelian Prime, but from the radiation storms that tore through its upper atmosphere. I was stationed at Outpost Delta 7, a lone human research hub orbiting just above the planet's cloud line. For 6 months, I'd been studying the strange energy pulses that emanated from Varelian's crust, bursts that defied physics, sometimes bending the outpost's instruments as if reality itself hiccuped. The night it happened, I'd been running a spectroscan when the alarms went off. Something large, no alive, was drifting toward the outpost. My first thought was space debris, maybe a dead satellite from the colony wars. But as it drew closer, I saw movement, limbs, wings, and eyes that glowed like liquid garnet. The scanners screamed warnings. Life form unknown. Atmosphere compatibility none. Hostility potential extreme. Before I could react, the outer airlock rattled violently. Somehow, impossibly, the creature breached the hull. Emergency shutters sealed behind it, locking us together in the main corridor. She stood there, pale as starlight, tall, with skin that shimmered faintly like a nebula. Her eyes, crimson and ancient, locked on me. Fangs, yes, sharp as obsidian shards, protruded when she breathed. Her voice was a whisper, but it carried like thunder. "Human," she said. "Your blood sings." Then she was on me. I barely had time to reach for my shock baton before she slammed me against the console, pinning me with inhuman strength. I felt the sting of her fangs pierce my neck, pain like lightning, then a wave of heat, of vertigo, of visions. I saw constellations collapsing, civilizations burning, and 1,000 worlds turning to dust beneath her gaze. She drank, but only for a moment. Then she stopped, trembling, her body convulsing. She stared at me in disbelief, her pupils dilating like black holes. "What have you done?" she whispered. Her knees buckled. She fell before me, trembling, her breath ragged. "Your blood, it's pure. I can feel it, the cure." I pressed a hand to my wound, dizzy and half delirious. "Cure? What are you talking about?" She lifted her head, her red eyes wet with something that looked almost human, tears. "My people are dying. The virus, the void rot, consumes us from within. For millennia, we fed on lesser species to survive, but their essence has decayed. None of it sustains us anymore. But you," she touched my chest gently, reverently, "you carry something we lost, the spark." I stared at her, trying to piece together her words. "You mean, human blood can heal your kind?" "Not human blood," she corrected softly. "Yours. There's something inside you, something ancient." I wanted to laugh, but the pain in my neck was too real. "Lucky me," I muttered. Her name, she told me, was Sereth. She was one of the Varathi, an ancient species that drifted between galaxies long before humanity learned to crawl out of its cradle. They'd been called many things by primitive worlds: demons, angels, gods, vampires. But Sereth and her kin weren't supernatural. They were biological miracles, sustained by absorbing the life energy, the bioflux that every living thing emits. Over eons, their own DNA had corroded, poisoned by cosmic radiation and genetic entropy. Her people were fading, their planet a necropolis orbiting a dying sun. The pulses I'd been studying, those were distress signals, cries for help that had crossed the void. And now, she claimed, my blood had somehow reignited her dying cells. "I was sent to find the source of life energy our sensors detected near this sector," Sereth said. "But I didn't expect a single human could contain such power." I felt lightheaded, not just from blood loss but from the magnitude of what she said. "If that's true," I said, "then maybe I can help your people." She shook her head. "No. They would devour you before they listened. To them, humans are prey, animals. But if I can take what I've learned from your blood, I might synthesize a cure. I didn't trust her completely. But something in her voice, weary, desperate, sincere, broke through my fear. Against every protocol, I agreed to help her. Over the next few days, she worked beside me in the lab, adapting our equipment to process her biology. We ran tests, scanned my DNA, and discovered something extraordinary. My genome carried an unusual mitochondrial pattern, a mutation from generations of radiation exposure on Mars colonies. That anomaly emitted a steady, low-frequency quantum signature, the same energy her kind required to sustain life. She called it the luminous strand. Every hour we worked together, I saw her strength return. Her skin glowed faintly now, her eyes less predatory, more alive. We even talked about her world, her people, the endless night they'd endured. I realized she wasn't a monster. She was just tired of watching her universe die. Then came the attack. A Virathi ship, sleek, black, and vast as a city, descended on our outpost. Saratha's kin had tracked her. Their leader, Lord Varn, appeared on our comm screen, pale, regal, and terrifying. "Sarath," he thundered, "you have betrayed the swarm. Return with the human or perish with him." She turned to me, eyes blazing. "He will not take you." The ship's weapons charged. I knew we couldn't fight it. But Sarath had a plan. She injected a vial of her own blood into the outpost's reactor core, amplifying the energy output tenfold. The station's shields flared white-hot, buying us seconds, just enough to activate the emergency jump beacon. "Take this," she said, pressing a data crystal into my hand. "It holds the synthesis pattern. If I don't survive, promise me you'll finish the cure." I started to protest, but she silenced me with a look, fierce and gentle all at once. "I never believed salvation could come from prey," she whispered. "But you changed everything." Then she turned, her wings unfolding in a burst of light. She launched herself through the airlock into the void, drawing the Virathi fire away from the station. The last thing I saw was her silhouette against the burning horizon, radiant, defiant, beautiful. The jump beacon activated, flinging the outpost through a wormhole to safety. When I woke, I was in orbit above Mars, my systems damaged but intact. The data crystal was still in my hand. The scans confirmed it. Saratha's genetic code was intertwined with mine now. My body had adapted, changed. I could feel the energy in my veins, the luminous strand pulsing like a second heartbeat. And somewhere across the dark between stars, I felt her presence, faint but alive. It's been 2 years since that night. I've built a lab beneath the Martian dunes, using the data she left me. The cure is almost ready. Soon I'll transmit it across the galaxy to the dying Virathi worlds. They'll call it a miracle. But I'll know the truth. A monster drank my blood, and in doing so she found her soul. And maybe, just maybe, she saved mine.